Okay, let's do another video. I just played this game. It's going to be a first video that I post in a little while now. Okay, VixensSin versus me, GrandPatza, English versus Delhi. Alright, let's see what's going on. Let's open up the whole map. Okay, so we are on Danube River, I think that's what it's called, or Danube River. I'm playing as English in red, and VixensSin is playing as the Delhi in blue, in the north there. So before this game started, the ratings were, let me see here, 1082 for me, and VixensSin was rated 1081. And so I've fallen a bit off track a little bit, perhaps. I've lost the last 5 1v1 games in a row, and I think I've pretty much found where my rating is right now, my true rating, because I was having a lot of wins in a row there. But I've just been coming up against a brick wall against people that are rated in the 1100s. So I have to fight my way out of the 1100s. My top rating topped out at about, I believe, 1160. So we're gonna try to get above that. And so you see, I've sent my scout to scout out the enemy's base over here. Can I get back there? No, I can't. And I haven't found any sheep. My scout is sheepless. So what I tried to do was send my scout up the middle. I couldn't find any sheep. There really isn't a whole bunch of sheep here. There is a flock of sheep here toward the edge of the map there in the middle. But I missed out on all the sheep everywhere else because I sent my guy down the middle. I guess because I wanted to prioritize having a look at his base. Of course, I haven't done anything about all the sheep here off to the side. Whereas I think my opponent is sitting very pretty on sheep right now. Here's the guys. Okay, so to start off, we've got 12 and 1. Okay, and I noticed, of course, when I sent the nice thing about sending my scout out here was I can see exactly how my opponent is allocating all of his villagers. You can see all of his villagers are on wood, and that means he's going to put an early dock out. Now, we purposefully do not ignore the dock boom, because we know that these ships can fire arrows, and I don't really want to slow down my push, my aggressive H2 push, by putting out a dock. You see, it's 2 minutes and 45 seconds, 2 minutes 44, and I put out, and I dropped my counter ball, and you can see from Vixen's perspective over here, he hasn't even mined any gold at all. So, he's a little bit short on the gold side. What's this villager doing here? I never knew that a villager was in the middle. Okay, so we see that. Okay. We have the scout coming in. He sees the town center and backs off because he knows he'll give up all that lovely sheep to me. Oh, I see. He's putting in an outpost there on the other side, but just to make sure that his dock is harassed. So he basically, this dock right here, I mean, look at how many ships that he's got, fishing boats. This is basically a very early second town center. But we're not going to go for that. In fact, we're looking to age up as quickly as possible and look to win this game in H2, basically. All right, so we're putting up 2 forward villagers here, looking to, and that's what my scout did. I'm pretty sure my scout, if we come back to my perspective, my scout was able to find the 2 gold pits, and you can see they're right here. Let's illuminate them. Nope, actually here and here. Just made it. You see how the villagers got through? He saw me, but my villagers just made it through. He tried to close it in. He was, by less than a second, I think he was unsuccessful in closing me in. But we've made it all the way through, and look at this villager. What's he doing? Let's have a look and see what he's up to. So this villager's coming forward. He's looking for my villagers. He's seeing that I'm doing nothing, that I'm shooting him down. He's using this to scout out. Where is his scout? His scout is right here. Wait, how many sheep? Whole bunch of sheep, 5 sheep. So, this villager now backs off. He has completed the closing up of his base. You can see he's got enough resources now for the Egypt. He's got more than enough. More than enough gold. 252. He's a little short on food. He just spent a lot of resources there on food. He's getting his second scout out. Oh, I see. He's trying to shut down my my tower rush. So he sees me placing this outpost. Send a couple more villagers out to chop some wood. Also that second scout there to harass this. Bring this villager out to go and shut down this. I probably would, you know what, it's possible to stop this, I think, at this point. These villagers needed to be pulled maybe a little bit earlier. I think that would have been key. Alright, so you can see now that he's starting to age up here with 5 villagers. Let's just take a look at the counts here. We have, on Vixen's side, we've got 27. He doesn't really have 7 military ships. Or sorry, 7 military, not really. These are fishing boats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 fishing ships. 27. So he's about 36. He's about 33 economy, I would say. 33 economy. And then I am sitting at just 24. So he's got a massive lead on me in terms of economic development. But we're looking to, and now that, see, we have our scout that we put in, we garrison the scout in order to have that arrow come out. Shutting down this gold. Now I'm shutting down this gold as well. Let's have a look and see what he sees. He sees everything that I'm doing. I'm taking my scout out to try to ensure, to help ensure that this outpost does get up there. Because, yeah, as you can see, he does not have access to any gold. He's going to have to use like a market in order to get the gold that he needs. Okay, so there we have it. We have secured this gold, and we're basically shutting down these areas here. And so what's going on in our base? Okay, so the very first longbow finally comes around. You can see that the longbows are coming the long way around, and that's the thing about this map here. I mean, the English do the very best when their bases are located quite close to their opponent. And right now, my base is located quite far from my opponent because I've got to go around this whole river bend in order to get my longbows through. So it kind of negates the advantage of the council hall because it's situated so very far from the front. So I've got to have like a some kind of forward economy, forward presence with villagers and stuff in order to get this going. Okay, so what's our plan here? Our plan, we have a significant economic disadvantage right now. We have an advantage in space, that's for sure. You can see how we're denying all the gold on the map, and we are keeping him penned in. At least the land forces are keeping him penned in back over here. Okay, so longbows are starting to stream in. You can see on the mini map here, those are the longbows starting to stream in. We have fortified the outpost because I know that he's got cavalry. And those guys can come in and try to siege down the outpost so that he can retake this gold. But you can see that he's really short on gold. He still has the 52 gold, and that's it since he aged up. Now you see how he's putting down a market. This is smart. This is defensive. It's what you got to do in a position like this. And oh yes, we're doing a little scouting here. The fishing ships are coming after us. So, we're putting up a blacksmith, so we're probably preparing for some siege. And you can see we have a whole bunch of villagers here. Would have been smart maybe a minute or two ago to place another lumber camp up here in order to reduce there we go, just as I say that, in order to reduce the walking time. Alright. So we're trying to make up for our massive shortage in sheep early in the game by going after the hunts that are not far away, and I don't have a problem going for the hunts now because I do have massive sheep. I have these two, longbowmen out here, just making sure that we do not have any errant villagers of our opponents that are going after any of the gold in the middle of the map. I want to make sure that my opponent has zero access to gold as much as possible. That's one of my most important win conditions here. Okay, so here's the situation. I've got 33 villagers, 15 military units. I'm dropping down a barracks here, and I've got 2 outposts that are fortified, and they have arrow slits, so they are denying the resource taking here, okay? So that is 34 and 15. Our opponent here has got 36 and 15. I don't believe that's correct. I think he's got more like 40 something. Yeah, 7. He's got 43 economic units. You can see he's putting out an outpost here to try to contest this outpost, but my outpost can be stronger. I'm being. Now let's see. Can we spot this out? We don't spot out the horsemen that are massing here on the side, but we do spot out this archery range. Now, as a consequence of mining all of this stone here, we can put up some stone walls, which are super powerful in H2, incredibly powerful. You can see how we dropped the second barracks out here, because we do see that our opponents have horsemen coming out. We're trying to shut down. We're trying to control the situation with stone walls and things like that. Try to control the space here. Try to control the timing of engagements and make it so that they're more advantageous to me. But you can see these horsemen do a really good job coming out here just in time before any spears come out. You can see the very first 2 spears do come out there, and they start to do damage on the horsemen. You can see that this is mostly cleaned up now. We're gonna get these villagers onto the stone wall where the cavalry units cannot get us. And these outposts are doing a really good job of just firing down upon the invading horsemen. And now he has no more horsemen. So you can see here the score. He's still up on score because he does have more economic units than me. But in return, in compensation for that, we do have access to gold. He does not. We have. And we've penned him in terms of expanding. He cannot really expand now, and he's going to try to shut this down. And I don't see this. You see, I missed this. I remember missing this. It was a big fail. I did not put down the foundations on these walls in order to close them up. So I lose 2 villagers there in the process. He kind of gets into a funny situation because he's attacking me with these right underneath my outpost there. Assassinate my scout, which is smart. That's a smart thing to do. You can. Okay, so we have 1 remaining villager with only 8 HP left to try to close up these 3 holes in the stone wall, so that we can fully control the space here. Okay, so now you can see that we have 16 spears, and you can see at this point here, so our opponent has not been able to mine any stone whatsoever, but you can tell that he is using his market. He's using his market to buy stone, to buy gold. And so what is he doing with that? Let's go over to his perspective a little bit. Okay, so he's massing a lot of stone. And you can see we've dropped this down. So let's take a look from his perspective. He can't see this. He can't see me coming to place a stone wall here. I want to fully pin him in here when it comes to my land play. I want to pin him in. So let's see from his perspective if you can see anything that's happening. Alright, you can see he's got some horses here. He does spot me out. This outpost does spot out this villager that's coming in, and I was able to drop all the foundations nice and quick before these guys come in here for the kill, to try to open up the space. Because he could, he very well could have sent a villager or 2 or 3 to go and mine this gold. He would have been okay. But look at, okay, so his gold is still at 112. He isn't using his blacksmith quite yet because he's trying to mass enough resources in order to make the trade. But yeah, I think that the lack of gold is really giving this guy a problem. Okay. So, we have closed up everything. You can imagine from his perspective, it's really claustrophobic kind of staying in this little section here. Now let's take a look at our perspective. We've got villagers here grabbing all of the shoreline fish. We're doing that because we just can't afford the wood right now. We can't afford the wood right now to put down farms. No, because we need to keep up the momentum. You know, we're just streaming in. We're just streaming in all these infantry units. Do we have any archers? We have archers we have longbowmen that are in here and in here. But we can see that. Okay, we got a battering ram cutting in from inside. Okay, so now an engagement is starting. I'm putting down a stone wall tower. That'll help things out a little bit. We're going to try to interrupt some of his infrastructure. But the thing is, you really want to. It would have been nice to have archers in this fight because I need to counter his archers. You can see that he does have a bunch of archers, and my longbows could do really well against his longbows because he's going to use his longbows to kill my men-at-arms. But the problem is, my council hall is too far away. So now we're going on a little raid here, and you see, here's another situation where the longbows would have come in handy. It would have come in handy in killing these villagers here that are garrisoning. It would have come in handy in killing these archers, which are doing really well against. Look at this; they're just absolutely ripping into my spears. So I think I don't do very well in this engagement. I could have done way better. You know, maybe is it an even trade? Maybe not, because I've killed a few of his infrastructure. I've killed some buildings, houses, that sort of thing. He's lost units, so have I. But yeah, you can see how he's using making big use of his market, because look how much gold that he's got. He's got 625 gold, which is enough gold to age up, which he's doing. He's doing this with 19 villagers. So let's take stock now. Let's take stock of the situation, starting with me. I've got 41 villagers, and I've got 42 villagers and 20 military units. You can see how I'm building an archery range with my 8 HP villager. And my opponent has got 45 and 31. So 45, and that doesn't include the 7. So he's got 52. He's got 52 economic units plus 24 military. 24 true land military units. Okay, so yes, he's got the mass on me, especially when it comes to the economy. But I do have map control. That's good. I do have access to gold, and he does not. But he has access to fishing, though. Okay, and the fish gather really quick. And he's in age 3, so this is a really, really weird predicament that we're in over here. You can see how he's gotten to age 3. Let's see, and he's Delhi. Okay, so you see how it takes a long time for your upgrades to come in. You see how he's queued all his upgrades? Now is the time to do something about it. It takes time for these things to come through. Look at how long it takes for these items to come through. Does he have a siege workshop coming through? Look at all these things that he's trying to bring through. So right now there's a timing push that we can do at this time, because he's put in so many resources to try to get to the next age that he's lost access to those resources. Here's the siege workshop. Requirements of the castle age. He is in the castle age. Hold on, let me get to this perspective. He could build springles. He could make a mangonel if he had a little bit more wood. That would be GG, basically. I mean, all I have are these weaker economic units. Okay, and so now we are switching into men-at-arms. We're switching into men-at-arms to try to fight this. How many people do we have on gold? We had enough gold, I suppose. Let's see. 948 gold. Yeah, no, we have too many people on gold. And you can see these guys are coming in for this hunt over here because we are short on food. Oh, up here. Yeah, we're short on food. and the Men-at-Arms needs a lot of food. Alright, so he's coming in with the ram push, try to pacify my aggression a little bit here. And he doesn't come in, he doesn't back it up with archers, which is something that he could have done. But I do see this. I do see battering rams that are coming down over here. I thought that they were going to be mangonels, so that's why I came up with it to try to kill the units that were making those units, the siege units. Coming in here, you know what? These men-at-arms, they are doing a really good job. And I have enough longbowmen to really do some damage on my opponent over here. So, you can see how we're clearing off. We're doing a lot of damage, clearing off a lot of lines. There's still military production coming here on the back. And I still have two live rams that can do some damage over here. So you can see right now, he doesn't have very much in terms of military units. They're going down, and he just calls good game. And that's all she wrote. So that was an all-in H2, fully committed to the H2 play. Forget H3. Take up map control. Maybe give up some fishing economy in the beginning. Let your opponent take the lead in that regard. But take space, be aggressive, and shut your opponent down nice and early. So that was the end of the game. Let's have a look and see if we can look at the stats at the end of the game here. Okay. So, in terms of the timeline, you can see how the numbers were pretty steady for me, but he took some major losses over here, and he wasn't replenishing those troops. I was taking some losses, but they were quickly being replenished on my side over here. At this point in the fight, you can see how he had the numbers lead, and I was starting to accelerate with production, but his was relatively flat. That's the consequence of not having access to the gold and not being able to age up. And every second that I delay my opponent from aging up, especially Delhi, is a lot of time that you delay him in terms of getting his upgrades, which he has to wait a lot of time for. Okay. Let's see here. In terms of economy, you can say, yeah, I had the lead in food, which is interesting because he had more fishing ships than me. And I had the lead in gold, of course. But you see, he had a surprising amount of gold here, but that's because he was doing some trading. So, that was another game for the books, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.